Hello, everybody. Once again, it's another episode of the Uncanny Spirits Club. Here I am in my living room in Ohio. It's pretty warm out, and we're doing another beer. Now, this one is not an IPA, although I do have a whole new set of different IPAs for the side show that I do as a part of this, which is searching for an IPA that doesn't suck. And I'm torturing myself more for your benefit, trying to find one that does not suck. I've only found 2 out of 8. 2 out of 8 that I felt did not suck. They weren't great, and they weren't something I wanted to buy again, but they weren't absolutely awful. But this is not one of those. I'll be getting to those in the near future. Okay, so this is a brand, or a brewer rather, that I've had before, but not this particular flavor expression. Some time ago, I did the Einstok Wee Heavy. I don't know if that's been, I don't think it's been posted yet as of my recording. By the time you see this, it will have been, because, time is fluid over here. It's the only thing that's fluid, so don't get weird ideas. That's not politically correct. Anyway, yes, Einstok. And this is the second beer from them that I will have had. This is their Toasted Porter. And I had to go back to make sure this wasn't the one that I'd had before, because I honestly couldn't remember. And since I haven't posted the video yet, I had to go back through the backlog of things that have not been posted. As of this recording, you'll have seen it by now. And that'll make all of this meaningless. And I could have just edited it out and not even made any sort of attention to it at all. But it makes it a fun story. And I'm all about fun, as you can see. Anyway, this says it is a Baltic porter brewed with roasted coffee, which is great. I'm a big fan of roasted coffee. It's a modest 6.0% alcohol by volume, so it's not going to hit you that hard, judging by what it says here on the can. It's got a nice big view of the Viking logo on the back, just like on the front. A little bit of the story. It says it's got clear notes of toffee and dark chocolate. So we'll see what this gets us. If I can get the can open here. Doesn't count. All right, so we're going to pour it in. It's got a nice stout bit of foam on the top. Drip it all in there. Nice bit of foam. As usual with a stout, you have to let it kind of settle first. Also, as has been typical of a lot of stouts, other than the Guinness, which is clearly black, the camera is going to show you this as black there, but it's actually a really dark brown. A super dark brown, as befits a decent porter. Now, in the last video, you guys know I tried the KBS, the Founders KBS, which was chocolate and coffee, and it, oh gosh, it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. As of this recording, I still have 2 in the fridge, and it's a fight not to go and just drink them all up because they're delicious. But remember, I said that one was special, and I wanted to save it a little bit, and it was expensive. Now this, individually, I don't know what the price is going to be, but I did get it, again, as part of my pick 6 at my local grocery store. You pick 6 loose beers off the shelf that have fallen out of their boxes, or there's damage to the box, or some of the other whatever, and you pick 6 different ones, or 6 of the same ones, or 6 whatever, you mix and match for $11.99, which makes this within the price range of usually $9.99 to $13.99. Generally, everything averages out to $11.99. So it's not going to be as expensive as that is. That was 4 for $17.99. This came in a pack of 6 for $11.99. So chances are this on its own are not going to be that bad, but your results may vary depending on where you live. So here we go. We're going to try the Einstok Olgerd. My accent has not improved since the last time. Toasted Porter. It's okay. It's a very mild porter. It's a bit thin, to be honest. It's hard to tell sometimes when you see it in the glass, but it drinks a bit thin. Porters and stouts usually tend to be a little thicker. They tend to have a little bit more heft to them. That's why it's common for, people to say, "Oh, I don't want to have any Guinness," because it's like having a meal, because it kind of is. It's just a lot to it. Very dense. There's a lot going on in there, but no, this seems very thin. I'm not getting a lot of extra flavors. I'm getting a very, very light dusting of possibly bittersweet chocolate in there. Not much of the coffee flavor. If it is coffee, it's a very, very, very mild roast as far as these things go. I'm a big coffee guy. I love a good strong coffee. I always get espresso shots in mine out of the very popular coffee chains. And so this is a very weak cup of coffee. Again, it's also only 6% alcohol by volume, which means it's a pretty lightweight beer as well. Let's try it again and see if anything changes. Yeah, there's even less flavor the second time around. It's not tasteless. It's not just like a straight alcohol taste, but it doesn't taste particularly unique. I remember liking the Wee Heavy. I remember thinking that that was decent. And it had more flavor than this. And this is just, it's a very thin stout for a porter. It's a very thin porter. There's not a lot going on in here, honestly. It's not, it is so nondescript that I can't hate it because there's nothing to hate. There's no like sour, bitter, gross stuff going on. There's nothing that's like, oh, well, that turns me off. I don't want to buy this again. But there's absolutely nothing on the other end. There's nothing being like, I can taste this. I can taste this. That's pretty good. I don't know. There's nothing going on. A regular Guinness off the shelf or in the glass or from the tap or whatever has more flavor than this. At least to me, anyway. And that's kind of a shame. I'm a bit disappointed. I'm not mad at it though. I mean, like I said, it's not making me feel like, oh, I never want to buy this again. It's just disgusting. It's not giving me that feeling. I'm not getting the kind of feelings that I get when I try an IPA that I attempt to enjoy and can't. I'm just not enthused about this. There's just nothing happening with it. It's really bland. Which means that you could probably go through 2 or 3 of those and not really notice too much and not have too much of a buzz either, as only 6% per volume. I don't know. It's too bad, Einstock. It's too bad, Einstock. I think you've failed here. But it isn't terrible. Like I said, I'm gonna finish this and not feel bad that I did. Some of the IPAs I get are just a struggle, an absolute struggle. Because again, my policy is not to dump anything down the sink unless it is so horrible that it's just going to make me sick. And has only been one thing in the history of anything I've ever, since I've been conscious of drinking. I mean, when I was younger, in my early 20s, and I just hit that age where I was legal to drink, and I'm just like, I'm gonna buy this and this and this. And there were a lot of really crappy things out there that I tried, but thought that, oh, this is gonna be delicious, because I didn't know any better. But now that I'm older and wiser in the ways of the drinking world, I'm a bit more selective. And I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not great either. Like, there's nothing making it stand out. So that's that for Einstok Toasted Porter. 6% alcohol per volume, roughly between $9.99 and $13.99, probably for a 6-pack at your local grocery store. Here in Ohio, those are Ohio prices, of course, so your results may vary. It's just not doing anything for me. Disappointing. But can't hate it. Can't hate it. I'm still going to keep an eye on them as a brewer and see if I can get some other things that might do the job. You know, I'm going to see what else I have, because the Wee Heavy I remember liking. This just is nothing. It's not flavorless. It's just not flavorful. And for a porter, that's kind of a problem. If you're gonna make a porter has to be rich. It's got to be robust. It's got to be full bodied. It's got to have something to it, some heft. But it's got none of those things. It's the thinnest porter I think I've ever had. I didn't know they could get this thin. Maybe it's just a bad can. Never know. It tastes fine. It just is not at all amazing. So that's it. So I'm gonna stop trying to put them down. I don't mean to sound so negative. I'm disappointed in it. But tune in, of course, for the next video. I'm sure I'll have something else that will either make me or make me That's usually the direction it goes. Until then, of course, as I always say, and you're probably sick of hearing, and I'm going to say it anyway, because I'm going to make it work. Cheers.